Every year, hundreds of veterans on home oxygen end up in the emergency room for burns related to home oxygen use. Many veterans have died from these fires. Over 70% were caused by smoking. Another 20% were caused by the use of a stove or burning candles. Overall, 46 people have died in 2007 as a result of negligence with home oxygen. In our community alone, there were 2 incidents within a month of each other related to the presence of an open flame while using home oxygen. Thankfully, neither veteran lost his life. In one case, the veteran's room was completely consumed by fire, and he was admitted to ICU and put on life support. In the second case, the veteran received burns to his face. Both of these incidents were easily preventable. I want to talk to you today about the serious issue of smoking and open flames while you're using oxygen. You're on oxygen to help save your life. Please don't let carelessness with smoking and open flames end your life. Yes, end your life. Oxygen can be life-giving. It can also be life-ending. I'd like to introduce you to Bill. Like you, he's on home oxygen. Bill has offered to tell you his own story of what happens when oxygen and open flames are mixed.
I'm a smoker, and my doctors and Jeannie, my nurse, said, Bill, you can't smoke around oxygen. And I did a good job at the beginning. Once in a while I'd catch myself, go to the grocery store or whatever, and light up my oxygen on. Well, I came home and I had my concentrator, it's a home oxygen unit, and I lit a cigarette, and it literally exploded. It burned holes in my carpeting, and that hose was like a whip, right, because of the pressure. And oh my God, I hurt so bad. Not that day, but 2 and 3, afterwards? 4 days later.
Now, when the oxygen was whipping around, was it still on fire?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Did you ever think that your oxygen cannula would burn or explode as fast as it did?
No.
And it was, like you related, almost instantaneous?
Yes.
Okay. Well, on the second incident with the candle, tell us what happened. What started the fire?
This whole thing got started. I stopped at a takeout place when I was for Chinese food after I came home from the grocery store, and I ate half of it that night, and then the next day I was going to eat the other half. And I stuck the other half in the microwave, and I went in to go to the bathroom, came back out, and the house was just full of smoke. And I thought, my God. Because it smelled like burnt carpeting, and then it had burnt Chinese noodles. Boy, that's a heck of a combination. It really is. But I had some scented candles, like the one I got on the countertops. So I picked it up, and I went over and I set it down on my coffee table, and lit it up. And I was probably 1.5 feet away from it.
Right.
And it just flat went off. Just same thing, flames all over. That's when I really did more damage.
Right.
Once again, it went down my nose. It went into my throat. No eyelashes, no eyebrows. I had burns all over my head. And it did so much damage, not just my apartment. I could have burned the whole apartment complex down, much less gotten killed myself. That one did a lot of damage.
On that incident, did you go to the hospital?
Yes, an ambulance came to pick me up.
Okay. And where did you go when you were admitted? Do you remember?
ICU.
Okay. How long were you there?
I think it was 4 days, 3 or 4 days.
Now, before the incidents, did you ever think that oxygen could possibly take your life?
No, I didn't.
How about now?
Oh, yes, it can. It certainly can. I wasn't smart enough. I was an ignoramus. Twice. The biggest advice I could ever tell anybody is please, please. First of all, it's stupid to smoke. And I've been doing it for years. But it's really stupid to smoke after you've been told so many times by your nurses and your doctors, don't do it.
Several months ago, another veteran was involved in a fire in a room he was renting in downtown Prescott. He was lucky and escaped with his life through the only door entering and exiting the room. He tried to put the fire out himself, but realized very soon that the fire department was needed and needed fast. By the time the fire department arrived, the room was totally engulfed. The veteran not only worried about himself, but he worried about other residents of the building, some of whom are fellow veterans as well. He couldn't stand the thought that his actions might cause injury or even death to someone else. The incident in his room started when he lit a candle on a table several feet away from his bed. He had been using his oxygen but thought he had turned it off before lighting the candle. He thinks he turned the oxygen tank off thoroughly, but the next thing he knew, his bed linens were on fire. At first, he tried putting the fire out himself, but soon realized he needed additional help, and 911 was called. Ironically, this veteran had a no smoking oxygen in use sign posted on the front door. Everyone should have that posted on the entrance if they are on oxygen. But they also need to remember that being careless with any open flame can result in the same thing this veteran experienced personally. A sign on the door doesn't mean you're safe. It simply helps you to remember the rules and advises others that oxygen is being used. The veteran ended up in ICU on life support, but thank goodness he has lived to tell us about this, and thank goodness nobody else in the building was killed or injured. This was certainly a lucky guy. If his story helps to prevent a single injury or death to another veteran, it is great. Here's an actual oxygen tank after it caused a fire in a home and exploded. It's not a pretty sight. If a fire occurs in your home, this is what can happen. An exploding tank such as this is a very dangerous thing. In fact, it can be lethal. Fellow veterans, keep this in mind. Never smoke or have an open flame around your oxygen equipment. Here are some rules you absolutely must follow if you are not to become another grim statistic. Never ever smoke while using your oxygen. If you must smoke, make sure you turn your equipment off, remove your cannula or mask, and then wait for 10 minutes for the oxygen around your face, hair, clothing, and in your lungs to clear. Never smoke with your oxygen tubing anywhere near your face. It contains residual oxygen and will burn like a torch if ignited. Never smoke in your house. Go outside to a porch or yard to smoke your cigarette. Make sure it's properly extinguished before you go back to your oxygen therapy. Do not use oil, petroleum-based products, lotions, or balms on your body. They can burst into flame with oxygen without actual flame igniting them. Do not allow visitors to smoke in your home, near you, or near your oxygen equipment. Do not get within 10 feet of a stove, oven, fireplace, or any other open flame or source of sparks while wearing your oxygen. Make sure you have smoke detectors and a fire extinguisher in your home and that they are both working. Make a fire escape plan for your home. Ensure you have an alternate route if your primary route is blocked by the fire. In short, use common sense while you have your oxygen equipment in your home. You may save your own life. We always encourage you to stop smoking. This in itself eliminates one major cause of oxygen fires. There are several smoking cessation programs available to help you stop smoking. Remember, it is up to you to follow the rules regarding smoking and having open flames near you or your oxygen equipment. Oxygen can be a very, very dangerous thing, both to yourself and to others around you. Thanks for listening, and be safe.